Change.
And there we go. There we go. We are alive. Alive
Okay.
or live? Yes, we're live.
We're both
Alive
alive
and
and alive.
I need to bring up the screen so I can read comments.
Okay, and I just changed my channel. Now I am watching Rugrats. Okay, I am all set.
Oh my goodness.
What? This is nostalgia, dude. This is 1993. Come on.
Yeah,
You
I
weren't
know.
even born yet.
I know.
This guy.
What was I
Anyway,
doing in
so-
1993? I was in preschool? Yeah, preschool.
Ooh.
So we're now live, so fuck it. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first Railroad Bronies podcast since BabsCon 2019. Coming to you,
Woo!
myself from the
Yay.
East Coast, Ace, with the core hosts from the West Coast, Will, Steam Tank, John, Mecha Flyer, and Gary. Well, he's Gary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how are y'all doing tonight, boys? 1 week onwards from Babs.
Yeah.
Thing is,
I
work
feel like a
never
zombie.
stops.
Yeah, that was the thing. I know I ended up with it just before the con ended, and it sounds like other people have this year, is what starts as con crud, but I heard one person so perfectly refer to as con plague this year. Perfect
Oh.
name.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
pretty vicious and pretty voracious.
Yeah, I know
Take
on
no
that
prisoners.
aspect. Yeah, on that aspect for Babs, I know there's been a couple people who've gone around saying, yeah, people need to just learn to wash their hands more, which is true, as well as start
Yep.
looking into putting in hand sanitizer locations, which would go a long way as well.
Yes, but, you know,
on a
Bronies are
technicality
very,
note, hand sanitizer really doesn't help. What helps is soap and hot water, but
Yes.
Yeah.
it helps
Yeah,
in a
I-
pinch, though.
Yes.
soap and hot water are the most effective, and I've gotten that from medical professionals.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
it's more than anything is common sense. So
Yeah.
yes. But that being said, what makes that difficult is there's only so many locations of hot soap and water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Soap and hot
Like
water.
at like at BabsCon, every time I went into my hotel room, I always washed my hands because I swear I could feel the dirt building up on my hands every time I went out. It was just building. I could feel it. It was weird. So
Yeah,
And this is
I
coming from the guy
understand.
that works on a steam engine.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. When I'm out and about, just regular,
Uh-huh.
whenever I get the chance, I wash my hands just to get the dirt off because I can actually feel it building up. But when I'm working on my steam engine, have all the grease on my hands, I'll go, oh, it's lunchtime. I have grease on my hands. They're clean enough. So I'll eat a hot dog with grease on them and not even wash my hands. And that's the thing with a bunch of live steamers. They'll be running their trains all day at the spring meet, and we say to each other, "Hey, you want to go wash our hands?" And they'll look at their hands full of grease and everything, and they'll say, "Yeah, they're clean enough," and they'll just go eat lunch. So it's weird, and they don't get sick or anything.
All right.
Well, I mean, grease and crap like that is going to be laden with germs, so to speak, or at least less commonly.
Oh, yeah, true.
All right.
Anyway,
With con plague aside and all that sort of washing hands, let's get into the con of itself.
Who wants to go first? You want to go one by one?
No, it's not
day by day.
It's not necessarily who wants to go first. It's how to start. That's the question.
Let's go day by day. Let's go day one and
Yeah.
Day one
so
or day zero? How do you want to do
Okay,
it
day
that way?
zero. Let's do day zero.
Day
Was
zero.
that Thursday? Thursday?
That was Thursday, yes.
yeah,
day
the
zero.
fly-in day.
Okay,
Yes.
let's go with Ace, because Ace flew in.
Let's see. It started with me not getting any sleep the night before, getting up at the ass crack of dawn to get on the plane, getting all my stuff onto the plane, getting horrible seats on both flights, waking up, finally getting into San Fran, cramped, crunched, and feeling like crap, get out to where I pick up my bags and find my tote full of my fragile trains and supplies sliding down the ramp, landing on its top against the stop point on the belt, and all of San Francisco SFO airport hearing my rage. That's how my day started.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Okay. How about Mecha?
Oh boy. Well, we got in a couple of days early for
Oh yeah, you guys.
various reasons. We drove up on Wednesday night. Wednesday we got in.
Wednesday
Jesus.
evening.
Yeah, well,
Call
it'd
it
be nice to
Wednesday
say
evening.
Wednesday evening.
That's when we left.
Yeah, we left at like 3 in the afternoon Wednesday.
Oh
But
yeah, I forgot about that.
yeah, but the drive up was interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Eh,
a lot
You
of
guys,
different things.
yeah, you guys
Uh,
drove up the coast, right? Pacific Coast Highway.
Yeah.
well, we started up the coast. Yeah, took the 101 most of the way.
Yep. Pretty much. Saw some interesting things. Had a ton of traffic by the time we hit Silicon Valley.
And I can
Yeah.
tell you this much
That
from
was
what I was
fun.
hearing from TSA, that was spring break traffic.
Yeah.
Cancun.
Yeah.
What else? So well, okay. So first off, I guess what we could say was is prior to con time, we had reserved what should have been full 6 days, right?
Yes.
Yes, they ended up only giving us 5 days on our original room, so we had to cancel that booking early, which caused us to pay like a full night each.
Oh, they did charge you for that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the canceling.
You canceled it a room ahead or less than a week ahead of time.
Yeah.
That's the
we
why.
stayed in the room the first night. That's the thing. We did stay in the room the first night, but then that following morning we checked out.
Well, what you should have done then was just adjusted your reservation a week
You know
prior
what?
to
I
just
tried to
that
do
night.
that. I tried to do that, but here's the thing, because the way that the system works, when you try to do that, is it cancels out the existing reservation and tries to make a new one.
Yeah.
So it'll release the room you have a hold on, and then you have to start all over again. And with the way that the BabsCon system was working this year,
That was going to be too high
there
a
was no
risk.
guarantee that we
Yeah.
would have got anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
It the cost, but whatever.
Not fun.
Yeah.
However, for the next year though, we're gonna do a mass booking at once to guarantee our rooms.
Yeah.
And time. So I'm not sure how we're gonna do that, but we got to talk about that at a later date.
Yeah, as we're getting close.
Yes.
Gary, don't
So
start.
either one person.
what?
Don't
Oh,
you
yeah.
start. I see it.
Anyway, so aside from that, let's get into day one.
I didn't go yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gary,
Oh,
Yeah. What was your adventure?
speak.
Okay.
Speak
So let's
now,
see.
if
All right. So, me and my dad, because this year my dad went up, and oh boy, because last year, hang on, I think I have a picture from last year to show you guys. I'll send it in the chat. But no, but you guys saw it. The way we packed our truck last year, right? How we
Yeah.
stacked it. Everything was stacked on top of each other in the back of the truck, and it was a big mess.
yeah.
Yeah.
This year when we went up, it was really easy because of the way I used the foam for my O gauge and stuff. So I really saved a lot of space in the back of the truck. And when me and my dad packed the morning of, it was just boom, boom, boom. Everything just fit like a puzzle. I thought we would have to double. I thought we would have to do a double stack, but it just slid right into the back of the truck, and we only had to put our luggage inside the cab of our truck. And we left the house at, I think, let's see, by 10 or 9. And
You got
then,
lucky.
yep. And then I think when we were on the 5, we were going by like 90 all the way to San
Are you ready
Francisco.
to admit to that?
Jesus.
Yes,
That's
you
why
can
you
even
have
ask.
to. You say allegedly. Okay?
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Yeah, if he was doing
Allegedly.
90, he would have had to have stopped for gas at least 3 times. No way in hell
Yeah.
the truck gets. We all saw
Yeah.
that truck.
Yeah.
Oh,
Size
yeah.
of that monster.
Oh, it was funny because I actually throughout the entire trip that Thursday, because I was saying, oh, are we gonna make it before 4 o'clock, or are we gonna get there at 3? Or I was doing the calculations in my head and on my phone doing all the math, like saying, okay, he's
Okay,
going.
Twilight.
Yes, I was Twilight. I was like, okay, he's going 80 miles per hour right now. So 80 times 3 divided by 4, that equals something, so I was doing all that math, and I averaged out 60 miles per hour, and I was like, 60 miles per hour? No.
No
So
way
then
in hell.
yeah, and then I told my dad, we have to get there. So eventually at one point we just started to go 90, and we reached the 200, no, under 200 miles to San Francisco before 12 o'clock. So
Wow.
He reached fuck it.
yeah. Well, my dad was driving, so my dad is faster than my mom or anybody else when they're driving. Oh no, yeah, I was about to say that. That steam tank can haul ass too. I'm very afraid when I'm in the car with steam tank. Yeah.
You think
You
he's bad? You
shouldn't
should be in the
be.
car with his dad.
No, you should have been. Well, I'll save that for later on the last day of the con. That's a story
Yeah.
for when we come back on the last day. But yeah,
Okay. All right, so let's move on from certain stuff and go to day 1. So, day 1, who wants to start off?
That was Friday as we were getting.
That's the
trying
first
to
day of
wake
the layout.
up.
Yeah.
Because Thursday, what did we do for dinner on Thursday? Is that led into Friday? I know.
Thursday we
Oh.
went to. That was the day we took you over to
Denny's, that's
Denny's. Yes.
right. Yeah,
Oh,
and you set up the micro-sized train that would later on go to try and break Back to the Future speed records.
Yeah.
Friggin'
yeah,
rocket.
you guys went to Denny's, and then me and my dad tried to go to Peter's, but they now close early at 4 o'clock. So me and my dad just went to In-N-Out.
Yeah.
No big loss.
We did that the night before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a different reason, but yeah, let's see. So yeah, Friday into Friday night was the day that we did our first layout setup, and we had 1 or 2 particular people
Pickup.
stop through.
Yeah.
That made the night interesting.
Yeah.
Who did stop by on our first night?
The guy that I gave a few trains to.
Oh, that
Yep.
guy. He crashes cars and does stuff like
our,
that.
our old buddy Race Best.
Yeah. And I keep seeing him pop through on all his all the BabsCon recap videos. Like, why the hell we keep popping up in there?
You know,
And
he
every
loves
time
us.
he sees me, every time it's after that first round, it's like I look so goddamn tired. You're
Because
getting me
you
after I look like I just woke up. Don't do that to me.
So for day one, do we want to talk about the minor?
Yes.
I guess say the minor troubleshooting from hotel staff at least a little bit.
What do you mean, the tables?
Yeah,
Yeah.
do we want to talk about
Table.
how long it took to get the tables procured?
John, don't.
And
Yeah,
then
how we
didn't want
got
to tell.
one set. John, don't.
Yeah.
How we got one set and then we were waiting on another set still.
Like literally, we got like 2 tables every
Jesus.
hour.
It was a nightmare.
I
Yeah,
mean,
it was.
figure compared to the year before, we had 6 tables. This year we had 9. That was
Yeah.
very nice. I love that.
And we're looking at next year what we can try and do for additional. I don't think any of us are going to the bank, though. We're trying to work with BabsCon staff a little bit ahead of time to try and do some
Yeah.
pre-planning stuff, but we do still have the full year ahead of us before anything really goes down. So
Now something, Gary, we didn't mention this to you yet because you had already left. Or no, you were already sleeping that night. It was the last night.
Yes.
But
I need my
we
sleep.
we went down. I remembered that I had packed a measuring tape with me. So we had went down and measured the entire area that we used
Yes.
for the layout.
Uh-huh.
So we can go ahead and kind of in a flat area, kind of mock it up in terms of space wise and get an actual size representation of the area that we use up there.
Just we're going to want to be sure that we can get that many tables.
Yeah, I have
That's
also
the big
as
Not
also
only
measured the
that,
size of the
but
tables.
as John has pointed out, they're going to want to keep to a certain fire code. So
Yeah.
we're going
Yeah.
to need to keep
We need to
those minimum
figure out
spaces.
what that is.
Yes.
That's one thing we got to
Yeah.
figure out.
Yeah.
In California, the fire marshals are pretty freaking strict.
Yeah,
Especially
we need
for a convention where they're going to want to see easy egress, even if it's for 3 or 4 people tops.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
mind you,
but-
we're right next to 2 stairwell doors.
Yeah.
And
So
you know how you guys were saying you wanted to do a yard type thing next year where people can have fun.
Yeah,
playing
puzzle
with the
sort of
tree?
Well,
thing.
actually, before we get into that, though, we'll save that until after we're talking about the days. Actually,
Yeah. Let's stay on topic. The days.
Yeah.
Before.
yeah. I just mentioned the measurements because we were talking about the layout. But
Yeah.
anyway, but yeah, it took several hours to get the tables, which was kind
I
of
think it took.
crazy.
I think it
but,
took maybe an hour and a half to get the
No.
tables.
No,
Oh,
it
no.
took
No,
like
they-
4
longer than that.
hours.
They funneled in piece by piece. I think we started with 6 and then we ended up with 3 more or something.
No, we started with
out
3,
with 3, and
and
then
then
they
we got
brought
6 more.
6 more.
Yeah, because I thought we were just going to get
After-
3, and I told.
Yeah.
I can't remember if it was
And
Bob on
mind you, this
Discord or
was-
somebody. I just said, "Give me the biggest you got," and they brought us 6 more tables.
Yeah.
It was also during this time, I believe, that we had our freshest railroad brony, Lyoko Travels, came along and
Yeah.
brought
Oh,
along
yeah.
a lot of his N scale stuff. So if anybody sees him out there with his N scale, give him a big high five, handshake for us, because he really brought that large part of the table together. We didn't have nearly as much of the N scale last year, so he really, really helped to fill in that void of the extra tables that we had.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, he's the guy that always carries around the DUP sign, the stop sign that says DUP on it.
Mm-hmm.
He-
And the
So-
Ponyco plush.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, so we were slowly waiting on the tables, and of course, by the time we get the tables, we only really had, 2 hours or so of runtime from that point? which point
maybe
we were
3
really
at the most. Yeah.
Yeah, at which point things were winding down, we were starting to pack it in. The upside to Friday, as a number of people point out, because it was almost more of registration day than
Yeah.
an actual
Yeah.
panels day, and the vendors hall got going late, we were something of the star attraction, the easy pickings.
Yeah.
That
In all
everybody was.
honesty, aside from maybe one or two panels, the only thing we were competing with was the vendor
The,
hall.
yeah, and they
Yeah.
were on the opposite side, and they didn't have anywhere near everybody up and running at that point.
Plus,
Mm-mm.
how much do you want to bet that there were people up in their rooms with their windows open watching the layout from up there?
Oh yeah,
There
we
are
were
no
in
windows
prime
to open.
territory.
No, but
I
they
mean, there
can
was no
view
way to
them
open
from the
windows,
windows.
but curtains
Yeah,
spread
Yeah.
out.
because as we were proving from where our room was to where the layout was, I could very easily stand and assert my dominance from quite a ways away.
Uh,
That was a fun time. But yeah, by the time we were packing it in, we were starting to pack things down. I think it was getting close to 9, 10 o'clock on Friday, so I
Yeah.
seem to recall. As it is, we were
Yeah.
already pushing to God only knows whatever hour we wanted, which I will say was
Yeah.
pretty nice about doing the layout is we were more or less given free reign to do whatever we wanted.
Well,
yeah.
Oh,
nobody
yeah, they
else was
said-
scheduled in that area, so it was like, hey, knock
Yeah.
yourselves out.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
go whenever. Yeah, like you said, knock yourselves out. They said run until you, whenever you want to stop.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty
And
much.
the best, yeah, and the best part about Friday night in my, well, no, that's not the best part. One of the highlights is the picture that I sent. Eating pizza. We got stoner food.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize you'd gotten that picture. That's pretty darn cool.
Yeah, stoner
Yeah.
food for dinner.
Yeah, and if
Little
you
Caesars.
well, if you want to throw this up there, everybody can get an eyeball of our N scale savior, Lyoko Travels, in there
I'll probably have to put it up when the
later on.
podcast is over. Yeah, I can't
Alright.
add pictures when it's running.
No,
All
you
right.
can.
Uh,
It's OBS. You can just minimize it and put Discord up on the screen. Your sister did it when she was doing it.
Yeah, but I
A little
guess
too
so. I
much
could do
for
that real
today.
quick. I
Yeah.
could do that. I could try it.
Either way. But let's see, did
Fair
I have? Well, I had my computer open at that point. That's right. I was eating pizza, and I remember I was watching that famous video, top 15 extinct steam locomotives.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
I've seen
good
that.
video.
Yeah.
I need to finish watching it because I never finished it that day.
Hang on. Let me see if I have another picture. Because okay, that was Friday night, correct?
Yes. Yep, that was
Yes,
stoner
That's
food night.
Friday night. Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be that should be our tradition. The first every Friday night we should do stoner food at Babs.
Yeah.
Mind you, this though. I mean, this bad con was only 4 day due to certain reasons between the hotel and the con. But
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's
I
going back
suspect
to
not all of
3.
which will ever see the light of day.
Yeah. It was a bit of a trip trying to do two days of a layout. I'll tell you that much. Especially
Yeah.
being so undermanned.
Yeah, because we lost 60% of our crew this year, so that's why it was kind of a hassle. If we had our full crew like we did last year, then it probably wouldn't have been that much of a problem. But yeah, it was okay. It ended up working out in the end, but it was just a lot of work this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Uh,
think I think if we ever do 2 layouts again, we definitely need more people there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So really quick, Gary, I know you were mentioning something about a yard setup. I had an interesting idea two nights ago when Mecha dropped off my camera because I left it in his center console. I had this idea. You know how the O scale runs on the outside, and that's usually the first thing you see because it's so
Yeah.
big. So here's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I might do it in a sense of like that's the word, kind of like, okay, what I want to do is I want to build little Lego like modular boxes, okay, and I want to put those in the center, okay, with the O scale going on the outside. And then what we do with those is essentially we're raising the inner trains up, the smaller scale, which is the HO, higher above the O scale so that the HO can be seen as well as the O scale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know
Unfortunately,
supporting it on pylons, even if they're made of Lego, is going to be the greatest idea.
no, not Lego. I'm not talking of Lego. That was an example. I'm talking about building actual blocks, maybe out of wood or some
Yeah,
sort of
but
like a
even
hard,
still,
durable material.
unless they can be 100% secured to the HO track, similar to how that smaller loop that carried the Mickey Mouse train was for this year's layout, you're looking at track that could maneuver around, slide around, and then all of a sudden you've got a relatively fragile, compared to the O-gauge stuff, train potentially clattering off an elevated
Well,
system.
figure
Worst
this
case
much.
scenario off the table.
Worst case scenario, it's the same thing with the current setup because anybody could, let's say, pull the tablecloth and everything comes down. Either way, same situation. But the thing that I'm talking about is we build a wooden box, okay, and it latches together to hold them together, and then you put the track up on top the same way you do with the actual table.
But
And you
how
put
do
a
you
cloth
secure
over
the
it.
track to the blocks?
You don't. You float it just like the O scale and everything that's already there.
I could see that working
It's the
because it's
same
only
concept.
temporary.
Yeah, it's only temporary. It's not meant to be permanent. Because if
And
we
it
did
doesn't.
secure it, I would have to glue the track down, and you would never get it back up.
Yeah.
And it doesn't even have to be some wood, or it doesn't even have to be wood. It doesn't even have to be something really, really thick or strong. It could
Well,
just
no,
be
it just needs to be durable enough to hold the weight of the turbine.
Exactly.
Maybe double the weight of the turbine. That alone, perfect.
That's usually your measuring point, is you don't want to do the minimum weight of your heaviest object. You want to do double the weight of your heaviest object.
Yes. And currently the two heaviest locomotives that are in our roster is the Big Boy and the turbine.
And do you think Spiral Force is liable to say, yes, let's bring Big Boy, let alone what's its minimum radius?
I don't know what the minimum radius is, and the only way that's coming is if he brings it himself.
Yeah.
And if we're able to get him a carrying case, because right now he doesn't have a case for it. It's just open.
I think Gary might have one or two ideas on how to do that.
Yeah. But yeah, going back to the layout idea, building an elevated platform for the smaller scale to sit on top of. And then, for instance, let's say if Gary wanted to, we could make it so that some of these boxes have an archway for like a tunnel system. So Gary could put like a tunnel or something going from one side to another, so he can alternate in between and give the illusion of like maybe a double track system. In fact, if he wanted to, he could do a double track system, and all we have to do is plan for the openings.
This seems like a hell of a lot of work.
Yeah.
It is, but it would definitely free up a lot more space for the smaller scales because Gary there he has two loops.
No, because
HOY there's only one.
No, because what I was thinking next year, how you guys were suggesting the doing the yard.
I thought the yard thing was going to be on an entirely different table, from what I understand.
That's different. We'll get into that.
And I'll tell you a little bit about that as we're getting later on into the podcast. I'm kind of commandeering that one, I'll be straight and honest. Already got some stuff in the planning and in the testing phases.
Yeah.
All right, then.
I'll get more to that later.
Yeah.
All right, then we're going off topic again. Let's go back to Babscom. What was the
Yeah, so we
Saturday.
were on on Saturday. Yes,
No,
that
no,
was
wait, Friday. Wait,
we were on Friday,
Friday.
but I think we already finished Friday.
yeah. Friday
No,
finished with Stoner
Ace.
Food and Packing It In.
And
Yeah.
Ace.
'Cause
Wait,
of-
didn't you forget something, Ace? Somebody came over. You gave somebody a train.
I wasn't gonna go in depth on it. All that really needs to be said is check out AC Race Best's videos. Oh yes, I'm giving him a shout. AC Race Best has been doing his BabsCon
Vlogs.
recap ones, and basically a large portion of what we're covering, he literally stops in on at the layout for. It was a real cool night. It was real cool to see him see everything drop down. I won't spoil all the surprise. I will actually let him do
Yeah.
all the everything for that.
Let's just say there's a major act of spontaneity.
If you figure this, it was so random that even I was surprised.
Yes, I remember
Yeah.
seeing in the videos around the box, and he's looking around and goes, "What's going to happen?" Gary, I don't know. Everybody, oh no. And then, hey, what's this? Check out his video for more details. I'm not going to tell
Yeah.
you nothing.
Which-
Can we get his video linked into the BabsCon chat? Or the YouTube chat, rather.
We could
probably
probably
do it.
post it after the fact in the description.
I'll probably put it in the description later. Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one thing though. During the moment when he was recording that, I was recording that too.
I saw that.
So you got a third person
Yeah, we had
perspective
camera reception going on.
going on there. So
We had camera reception going on. It was funny.
yeah, it was funny, and I did actually vlog quite a bit the first couple days.
I thought I was going to vlog some, but I didn't do jack. Basically, it
You
started
did
out
some from the
trying to
arrival.
record.
As soon as you got to the airport, you're like, okay, here we
Yeah.
go. This is my vlog, and that was it.
Yeah, that was basically the last time the camera saw any action, and I'm really
Yeah.
disappointed in myself for that. It shows you how good a vlogger I am. In the
it's
YouTube
pretty
page, I found the video. There's the link for Race's video in the YouTube stream description. It's going to be in a little ways. I'm not going to link to the exact point in the video. You can watch through. It's about 17 minutes in.
Not that long.
Once you get to that point, yeah, you can see a lot of what set up. He swung by last year, which is real cool. So the fact that he caught us this year, although again, I think part of that comes down to the fact that we were one of the few things going on. Not only that, but I think he did remember us from last year as well, didn't he?
He did, yes.
It's
Well,
kind
I
of
mean,
a bit of
that's
a
the
gray
thing, 'cause
area.
I think he remembered us, but at the same time, it was one of those things where we were kind of in demand, you know.
Yeah, a
leading
lot
up
more people were
to-
asking for us.
Leading up to
Yeah.
the convention, we had a lot of people going to the BabsCon staff like, hey, are the train guys coming back? Are we going to have the layout again? What's going on with that?
And I remember for the
Yeah.
longest time, BabsCon didn't have an answer.
Yeah.
Like they weren't sure. And I think that unsureness wasn't, we don't know if they're coming. They knew we were coming. It was more, we don't know if we'll have a table for them. And
Yeah.
that proved to be the problem.
That was it right there.
Uh-huh.
But as for Race, the reason why I say him coming by is a bit of a gray area, well, it's because, well, on the off-site, aside from the trains and stuff, I and Mecha, of course, you know, we're highly into cars as much as Race is, if not maybe a little more. But we do attend the Irwindale Night of Destructions every time we get a chance, and we do run into him like quite a bit. So
Yeah, but
he
I
kind of
don't know
knows
if
us
that's true of him.
outside of it.
Ever so slightly. I
Ever
don't
so
think that he
slightly.
knows us all that well, but
Yeah. But, I mean, whenever we do run into him, we do talk to him.
The big
Yeah.
test will be if I see him at BronyCon again, if he will it will be the big tell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure he probably doesn't remember our actual names.
Yeah.
But he does.
I think
know us
after
from-
that stunt on Friday, he's gonna know who you are.
Oh yeah.
Well,
He
considering
definitely-
I never did get the official handshake, and I don't think what happened on Monday really counted. But I never got the official handshake that he said he wanted to do. Mainly because on Saturday, every time he swung down there, I was at the hotel room for some reason, either grabbing a bag, changing out of my cosplay, whatever it was, and I would come down. Oh, you just missed him, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh my
that's
I mean, he came by a few times with Saber.
I go to
He
use the
missed,
restroom. I
like,
come
2
back.
times that he came back.
I go to use the restroom. I come back. Oh yeah, Bill Newton just swung by as well. Motherfucker!
Yeah.
Wait, did you miss? Wait, you missed him when he came by?
Yes, I missed Bill Newton. I'm pretty sure it was using the restroom.
Oh,
He
and
didn't really stop, but he did walk by.
yeah. And then
One time
let's
he did.
not forget our pal Tony Fleeks spying from the
Oh.
distance.
Yes, I was the one who pointed that out, and then Will made eye contact
funny.
and darted
No,
like a
that-
scared deer.
that was Mecha.
No, that was Mecha.
Whoever it was, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember sitting
wasn't
there at that point. I look up, it's like, John, look, Tony. He looks up, they lock eyes. Tony's fuck out of there. It's like, I have been spotted. If you don't
Yeah,
move,
like a deer.
they won't see you.
Yeah, I saw. I actually saw.
Yeah.
No, I saw him standing there for a while. I didn't notice who he actually was until you pointed him out. But yeah, he
Yeah,
was
he-
standing there for a
He
while.
always has that hat, and he's always wearing flannel.
Mhm.
Yeah, but
Always.
here's the other fun thing, because Tony Flakes and Bill Newton were not the only guests of honor to stop by our table.
Oh, yes.
Oh, that
Get
picture.
the
Let me get
The
that picture.
highlight of our thing.
I got that.
I'm just gonna say the line. Let's see. I'm just gonna say the line. I was not into model trains until about 5 seconds ago.
And
There
the
it
face. All four of
that
them, but
face.
especially Mike's face. Oh my
Mike
god.
Vogel. Yeah, it was literally the whole writers panel that was
Yeah.
there. Literally
We had Nicole
stopped by the
Dubuque,
table.
Mike Vogel, Brian Hallfield, and Josh Haber. All four of them just stopped like, oh my
Yeah.
god, Kids on Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the best I can compare it to. Kids on Christmas. Mike Vogel's face was priceless. I have that constantly open as a tab on my computer, so it's like, oh man, I'm feeling like crap. I'm feeling like, happy Mike.
Yes.
And all of them. I think Nicole's talking with Lyoko. Brian's enthralled in this. I think Josh is looking at Mike like, Mike, are you okay, buddy? And Mike's just, you could tell that's the face of, if I did not have to go somewhere, I would be behind there at the controls with you guys.
Oh yeah.
That's the
I think
face
they were
of,
just going. They were going somewhere. I don't know if it was the escape room or if they had something else planned.
I
think
do
it
have
was-
their picture of the escape room. They did do
Yeah.
the
Oh, you-
escape room. Yeah, it was on Facebook.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
yes,
Oh, there it is.
this
You
is
got it?
a thrilled 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gonna be
Yeah,
putting it
and
up
I'm just
right
like popped
now.
out all of a sudden, like, oh my
Okay.
god.
Yeah. And I was actually
Also,
there for that
we've
one
got-
for once.
We've gotten 2 confirmations. One against Emmy Larson's earlier judgment,
Oh.
like trains, and 2, it is confirmed that Emmy Larson is a nutcase.
I think the
Yes.
politically correct term is batshit insane.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, Mitch. Your own crew's turning against you.
Yep. That's what you get for leaving the show.
Thank you.
No,
Thank
that's what you get for leaving. That's it.
Thank you,
She's
Mike.
dead. It's the end. Oh, man.
Thank you, Mike. You have settled my revenge on Mitch Larson.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was funny. Didn't he say that he owed them money too?
Yeah,
And
it was
he
like
also owes me-
20. Mitch owes Mike $20. Yes.
Every call out to M.A. Larson possible. And watch, he's going to show up next year for Babs like, you sons of bitches.
Oh my goodness.
Whatever you do, do not give M.A. Larson anything to sign. It will be handed back to you completely painted the color of the Sharpie he is holding.
Yeah.
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 Oh my
definitely.
god. He's a madman.
Definitely. But yeah, it's officially canon. Fluttershy likes trains, and she likes the quiet cars to ride
Yes,
As
the
is natural
sleeping
for her.
cars. The sleeping cars, you know, the
Yeah.
nice and
Yeah.
quiet area, or the parlor
Yes.
car.
in.
Nice-
Yeah.
The parlor car is the party car.
Oh yeah,
That's
so
a
the
Mickey's
Mickey
favorite
car.
car on the train.
okay, so the sleeping car.
No, isn't
Yeah.
that the dining car where all the alcohol is served, or the bar car?
No, the
God,
parlor
that's
car is
very-
the party
that's for
car.
Berry
Oh,
Punch.
oh, no, guys. She likes a sleeping car because she likes to be a tree. I'd like to be a tree, you know, in the episode, you know.
Hey.
Oh god, yes.
I'm gonna throw this switch
Oh,
back onto the main track here to keep us rolling. So, yeah,
oh.
Saturday we had pretty big faces pop on by, which was
Oh
really
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
We had Race stop by
Yeah.
again with Saber on a couple of occasions.
Yeah.
Never
And
went
It
Saber
was
on.
like
did get
twice.
drunk.
What was that?
And Saber did not get drunk this year at the Toasty Riders panel.
Although, was that later that night? I think.
Yeah,
Yeah,
later
that
that
would have
night.
been. Yeah, I wasn't there for that one. Probably just.
Yeah.
No, instead, I think at that point we were going to get food, and then that was when we packed everything in. We went and got In-N-Out Burger, and we
Yeah.
went up and watched the episode because although we were supposed to start the layout at 8 a.m. that day, that was when the episode was going to air. What were we doing at that point? I was trying to
Sleeping.
get Will's fat ass out of bed and stop snoring.
Oh, ooh.
Oh my
I,
god.
Oh,
I
shots.
set 5 alarms.
Yeah,
Oh,
and they didn't
shots
do
Yeah, and none of
shit.
fired.
You
them
know why?
worked.
Because you were on top of your phone.
Oh,
yeah.
shots fired.
It was underneath you. I couldn't turn your phone off if I wanted to.
So it's just blaring the freaking alarm over and over and over
No, it
again.
wasn't even an alarm. It was the Equestria girls. Oh my god, shut it up, shut it up, shut it up. I
Oh, yeah,
really
that's
should have
right.
just taken I should have taken the nuclear pillow option right then and there and fixed it all. That would have been the be all end all.
Nuke
But
the
no,
lizard.
I think we finally got up and going by like 9, just in time to get down to the opening ceremonies.
Yeah.
So
We
yeah,
missed
it was
the
right
wedding
after.
too, which was kind of sad.
Yeah, and that was nothing short of a miracle unto itself. I don't know
Yeah.
if the story of that's going to be getting out or what Spitfire may have released, but she almost didn't make it to this side of the world in time because her flight
Yeah.
and everything was giving her hell. But yeah, she made it. So huge congratulations to Spitfire and Fiara if you ever happen to get this. I know everybody said it to you a million times over, but still huge congratulations on that. So
Yeah.
Congrats.
Also, a shout out to Casey Fish and Brony Vids.
oh yes, I heard that.
They also got married this week, last weekend as well.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So last week was the weekend of pony marriages. in the
Yeah.
Oh
pony
yeah,
fandom.
actually, both of those weddings were on the same day, and and that's probably what confused me when I was on Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah. Casey's wedding Race would have been going to had it not been for BabsCon.
Yes.
He was already committed on that one before that.
Yeah,
But they
unfortunately,
did a big shout out on Twitter. I don't know if you saw that during one of their panels.
Yep.
Got him and Saber and Solrak and the manliest Brody in the world.
Oh yeah,
Dusty Cat.
Solak was at the convention.
He was at the convention.
Yes.
That was
If
the first
you
time
want
I
to have some fun with the
2017.
manliest brony in the world at some point, and I know this from experience now, if you want to have some fun with him, ask him about when he had hair. He loves talking about that. I say with my long flowing hair cascading down my back. He's gonna come at me with a razor blade at some point. It's like, bitch, you're next.
I still remember the tweet from Saber from the one time they were talking about when they were sharing a room together, and it was like Saber says, he says, "Oh my God, Dusty looks like a Greek god." I won't go into that in full details, but yeah, I was like,
I
Yeah.
remember, yeah, because you saw Dusty's butt.
yeah. But
All right, back on the main track again. So
Yeah.
Saturday ended up. I know, Gary, you were asleep by that point. The three of us ended up watching the episode. I
No, and then no, what was it? No, there's still a lot of stuff that you guys skipped over.
right.
Let me-
like what? What did
there
we
were
skip?
okay, no, not a lot of stuff. Okay, let me see. Who visited the panel? No, not even not the panel. That's the next day. I'm skipping ahead.
That's the next day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, on the for the layout, I remember.
Huh.
Pick a PD. He came by and he did the post-it pony. I like trains. The thing in
I
my
still need to
camera.
find him and absolutely railroad him into the fucking wall for that.
Guys, you guys didn't even notice him. You guys were too busy. I don't even know what you guys were doing. You were messing around in the back. I was the only one that said hi, and he just put
I
the
was-
post-it.
I was too busy taping cables down.
No, this is when the layout was running. You guys
No, we were
were
running. This was Saturday already when he
Yeah,
came
this is-
by.
this
Yeah,
was
I
in the
remember
middle of the
seeing
day.
it. Looking around
I
angrily, he was like, "Where is he? Where is he?" Because
Yeah.
I was making a habit of, if somebody said those three words, I went hard charging at them, screaming, "Choo choo, motherfucker!" And it was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, and let me
God knows
see.
when I told you to say the words and I heard you shout them across the hallway and I went charging, I saw fear in your eyes, Will. You were scared.
Well,
I didn't
was
even
standing
flinch,
in
though.
front of a railing. I thought I was going to go over in a second.
And had
I
you
didn't-
not moved, you would have.
Yeah, there we go. There's the poster pony pictures that Wikipedia left.
Okay, let me get that up.
Yep.
Yeah, and then what was another thing that happened? Oh yeah, you know the little billboard that I created, the one that has Baloney's react.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the one that's right next to the laptop over there.
yeah, so many people were taking pictures of that, and it was so much fun. So many reactions to that little billboard.
Yeah.
I know Princess Deadpool. He took a picture of that because he's on Baloney's React, and he sent it to Drummer Shy.
Yeah.
That was so much fun. Everybody pointed that out, and all the other Easter eggs. Oh, which writer she really liked? What was it? Who liked the orange trees on the layout? Remember?
It was Nicole.
That was
Nicole.
the
Yeah.
Nicole Dubuque, yeah. She thought that was amusing as hell.
I bet you if anything at all, if this wasn't the last season, I bet you if anything, there would have been some sort of shout out in the next season after this layout.
What, to orange
Yeah.
trees?
Orange
Yeah.
trees on the apple farm. I
Yep.
bet you if anything.
If an animator could have snuck it in, possibly. I don't
Hmm.
think they can intentionally write in something like that because
No,
usually all that
it's-
stuff still has to pass through the
Everything-
higher ups and
Everything that goes in for a series is pre-done in advance. Like literally, once a series is airing, they're already working on the next one. So,
that's not
everything's
necessarily
already
true
done.
I believe I remember seeing back when season 8 was still underway that by the time the first episodes of a season are airing, during
Yeah.
that point,
Yeah.
the last couple episodes, some of the episodes within the series
Yeah.
are still in production.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Like they're literally still making it up as they go
Yeah.
Mhm.
in the
Well,
most
who knows?
literal sense.
But yeah, I bet you if anything at all that there, if there's I will say this now, a glimmer of hope on that sort of a type of reference, it probably would make it in there because they loved it so much.
I'm going to dodge out for 1 second, gentlemen. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got that inspiration to do that from, I forget, it was one of the newer episodes when Applejack says, yeah, that's almost as crazy as if Apple Bloom started liking oranges instead of apples. And then she really quickly says, you let me know if that ever happens, you hear? I really do not remember what episode that happens in.
I
And
have no idea. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
don't either.
I do recall that though.
Yep.
oh wait, John hasn't seen the newer episodes. I just spoiled it.
He hasn't
Oops.
seen any of the new. He's still 3 episodes in on season 8.
4.
Sorry,
4.
Mecha.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mecha. Just watch the Ponies the anthology, and you should be caught up in no time.
Oh god.
Oh yeah, just watch any pony anthology or pony parody. You should be fine.
Let's see what else. Okay, so gosh, I think that pretty much covers it con wise for the layout, except for talking about future stuff and what we could have done better, you know.
Yeah.
And then talk
We'll
about
push that towards the end of the podcast, though.
yeah.
All right, and the ace return.
Yeah.
Hope you weren't trash talking me too hard. I know how you guys are.
Didn't hold the punch.
But anyway, have we gotten into Sunday at this point?
We're about to.
Or
We're
about
just
to.
waltzing into Sunday right now.
Yeah. We're already nearing the 1 hour point of the podcast, and we're still only 2 days in.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. It gives us something to talk about.
I thought there was more we wanted to cover.
There is more, but we haven't gotten into
Babs
it.
20 and beyond, but
yeah, we will
Yeah.
after we finish Sunday really quick.
yeah, not
Sunday,
much on Monday.
There wasn't much. Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday, yeah, we had the podcast bright and early with
Too early.
Podcast battle, yeah.
Ferris Equus is his name, our boy Pete, the train
Uni.
conductor, who really didn't want to sit behind the table as a panelist for some reason, even though he bore the panelist and community guest badges. Although I guess part of it being that he was a con staff member.
Yeah.
Yeah, the panel went down interestingly.
Yeah.
We started late. We didn't have enough space. We ran out of time. We didn't stay on track. Man, it was
sounds like us.
It was the first 45 minutes of a Railroad Bronies podcast. You can't keep it on train topics for crap.
Exactly. That's
It was
why
an
it's-
authentic podcast. There you go.
Yeah.
Everything was made up on the fly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Too bad that panel podcast wasn't this podcast, because this one we actually have a lot to talk about as a recap podcast. Because
Well, I think
we
this
had
is
tried-
what it should have been.
I think we had tried to bring in something, but we never got anything even mentally planned that we wanted to talk about, which is where we kind of fell
Yeah.
apart.
Okay, I want to mention one thing. A few months in advance, I asked Gary and I said, "Hey, do you have anything planned for the podcast?" And he says, "Yeah, I have a whole thing written down." And they had the podcast. I said, "What's our plan?" "Oh, we don't have one." What?
We have a train. Where's the fucking manifest?
I know.
What do you mean there's no manifest? What the shit's in the cars then?
That's exactly what that turned out to be. It was completely on the fly, ad lib, everything.
We have a train with all these passenger cars loaded with passengers, and a destination, and you're saying we don't have a fucking locomotive?
That's exactly that.
It turned out
Exactly.
fine.
Oh man.
It was okay, but if we had a little something to go by, it would have been better. But
Yeah, a little
well.
substance to keep things
Next year.
driving. Yeah.
Yeah, next year.
Yeah.
Well,
Really quick. The meet and greet.
yes. Next
that-
time, for the few people who might be here listening, and we're in talks with some of the BabsCon staff about it, as well as a few experiments attempted this year and lessons to be
Yeah.
learned for next year.
Mhm.
First off, we're going to be trying to doing the meet and greet before the panel is the hope to try
Yeah.
next year.
Yeah.
According to the lead planner from BabsCon, that has usually yielded more people at the meet and greet. That
Mhm.
also being
Mhm.
said, we all understand there was a surprising bunch of people because originally for our meet and greet, we had 2 people sign up. One of them was one of the Railroad and Brony inductees, Lyoko Travels, who, like me last year, basically completed a large portion of our table setup. And
Yeah.
another was the son of the person in charge of all the planning, who'd been
Mhm.
Who
hanging out
happened to
with
be
us.
hanging out with us the
Yeah,
entire weekend.
yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, he had had a personal meet and greet experience the whole time. What was
Mhm.
it?
Yeah.
About a half hour after it had been intended on started, we got
10
a
minutes
text.
later.
Yeah, we
10
got a
minutes later,
text
we had a bunch of
message
people.
from the planners. Yeah, you've got like 10 people waiting for you. Well, did they sign up? No. Did they know to? I don't know. Those
Note
posters
that
were
we
going
actually
around.
canceled the meet and greet about
Yeah, because
half
we
an
had
hour
nobody
prior
Because
because
nobody
nobody had
signed up.
signed up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so
You know,
So
and we
so if
were
you
trying to
want-
make a lot of other plans work that
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, so all of
Yeah,
a
you-
sudden, a lot of other plans just immediately went into effect once that one was canceled. So when I get the text message saying, "Hey, you've got 10 people waiting, but it's too late," I'm going, "Well,
Yeah.
what the hell, man?" So anybody
Yeah.
here and for next year, I know they put it up, and it if
It
I
goes
need
up
to,
3 weeks early.
I'll push
Yeah.
it through the BabsCon
Not
chat.
only that, but
Yeah.
they have the sign up sheets at the table. Usually it's over by the Silver
Yes.
Span Saloon. But
Salon. Silver
Mhm.
Span
or salon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually it's over there by by the Cypress rooms. You know, go find the table. They usually have a whole
Yeah.
bunch of signups
If we
for the meet and greets.
Yeah, if we do the panel, the layout setup before the panel and the meet and greet next year, I'm
Yeah.
almost wondering if it might be worth having us have a sign up sheet of our own at that table, or at least a sign saying we will be doing a meet and greet. Go check out the signups table to sign up for it.
yeah. I think that
Yeah.
would
That
be better if
way,
we advertise it ourselves.
yeah, that way people
Yeah.
know, okay, you'll be able to see us again, but it's going to be over here. Please sign up. There's limited spots. It's a limited window of opportunity.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
Or
if it
that
doesn't go down, it gets canceled.
or pre-sign before the con.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually,
BabsCon,
you can do that.
yes, BabsCon makes it very clear if you're in their Discord, watching their Twitter, website, whatever, they announce
Yeah.
when you can start signing up for Silver Span Salon for all the community guest meet and greets. Once all the community guests are secured, which is usually pretty early on, sometimes it can be a little closer to the convention, but it's usually pretty early on. Once the community guests secured, they start those signups. So
Yeah.
check on those lists. Again, I think they usually only have what? 10 or 15 total slots for people to show up because it's held in one of
It's
the
held in a
it's held
yeah,
in
it's
the
held in
suite.
one of the suite rooms, so
So
there's
there
a very
is
limited capacity
yes,
just purely out of, safety
yeah.
concerns.
And
Except for the
if we can try and get more of the Railroad Brony OGs, all of us
Yeah.
from wherever we may be coming from, Leoka from
Yeah.
San Fran, me from the East Coast, more from our LA district. If we can
Mhm.
get more there, that's going to mean fewer people who can fit in the room as guests. So next year, please, 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 if you want to come, if you know your friends, family, whoever who wants to come, please remember to sign up so we know
Yeah.
you're going to be there.
I think
Please, I
that
beg of you.
I think the way that we should do this for the meet and greet is obviously the ones who should be there are me, Mecha Flyer, Spiral Force,
Yes.
Gary, and you. Anyone else, let's say if we do have a layout same day, just saying if they could be manning the layout.
I don't think they would do that because the layout can be seen as a sort of meet and greet of sorts on its own. So having another one on a day the layout is not operating kind of gives the
Yeah.
people who might not have seen the layout a chance to still meet the Railroad Bronies.
True enough.
Yeah.
So it really
well,
wouldn't make sense to be tearing away the lifeblood of the layout in order to do some other meet and greet sort of event.
True
Yeah.
enough. Or that, or we do a thing like after the. I don't know. I'm just thinking.
Yeah, that'll really be up to the BabsCon staff to figure that one out. We are keeping in contact with them. We're trying to do a lot better this year as compared, or for this upcoming year as compared to this year. Everybody can be pretty honest in saying that partially because of the schedule, but also because of everything that was trying to be coordinated right down to the last second. Not everything went as smooth as it could have. There were bumps. Everybody came out on the far side still relatively intact, but obviously a lot of lessons were learned.
Yeah, for this year.
I mean there were staffing issues and stuff like that. People backed out last minute. People got sick.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
thing about 2019 BabsCon is that any possible little thing, not a big thing, but any possible little thing that could go wrong did go wrong.
All the
this
little
year.
gremlins were just constantly attacking.
So this was a Murphy
nightmare.
con, I guess.
Yeah, Milo. It was a Murphy convention.
It was a Murphy con.
Yeah,
Yeah.
overall
Patent pending.
successful, but constant little battles here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just us. I've heard that other panels, other game rooms, other events, everything, were also having their fair share of issues and deals all over the place. Nothing was 100% smooth. Now, nothing ever is, but it seems like this year more than any other, I was hearing this, that, everything. Like, I personally have this little set of train cards that I try and get signed. On Sunday, I was anticipating originally not being able to get some signatures. Then, because the meet and greet was canceled, I was able to get those signatures. One person on the list who was supposed to be there, Shannon Shan Kent, she had left I believe earlier that day because she needed to be back in LA for a filming thing. So I don't know if that was last second or what, but she cut her hours short significantly. So that was unexpected. I know down the road there were various other VIP scheduling difficulties here and there, although one particular VIP who had those difficulties definitely made up for it. He was real cool about it. That's a story for another. But yeah, it's just all the little things that kept on adding up.
Yeah.
We have Mr. Ryan Blake in the comments, board member at Western Railway Museum.
I was just gonna get to that actually. I just wanted to make a shout out to you. Thank you for subscribing, by the way.
Oh, we do have another
subscriber. Comment. Unfortunately, I'm a board member at the. Unfortunately, is it unfortunate? I'm a board member at the Western Railway Museum. I had a meeting, so I missed saying hi when you guys were setting up. Oh, okay. Well, we'll be there next year. It's kind of, we had a little private one-on-one with some people, and it's for sure that we're gonna be there next year. So
as long as
plan for 2020.
As long as BabsCon is going on at this point, basically the Railroad Bronies are going to become a staple
We're
attraction.
going to become a fixture, yeah.
We've already became one.
Yeah, at no cost to the convention. At no cost to the convention and all the entertainment for us. There's no downside.
Yeah, there's no downside to it. But yeah, we will be there. Sorry you had to work that day, but you know,
at least it was doing something badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
working on railroad stuff right there. That's
Yeah.
cool.
So
Yeah, I know that feeling. A member going to a meeting. I'm a member of LALS and a member of Riverside Life Steamers going to two clubs and
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
but
like, oh, they're having a kick-ass event at LALS, but they're also having a kick-ass event at RLS. Ah, decisions. I don't know
yeah,
what to do.
I know. Like this weekend, they had the spring meet over at the Riverside Life Steamers, and originally
Uh,
I was planning on going, but I didn't end up going because I was still recuperating from BabsCon. And then
yeah,
today I went to Fillmore and Western, and too many trains.
yeah,
Too,
bullshit. Never too many trains.
no, 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 no,
never.
no. I have reached train railroading enlightenment. There are so many trains in my life. I have reached full enlightenment.
And
No,
you've
no.
reached the enlightening fact that you need more.
Yes, yes, yes.
There
I
you
have.
go.
All right. So con days aside now. Now let's get into the discussion of the next year portion.
Wait, we didn't get
Yes.
What? What?
we didn't get to the last day of us going home. We have to cover that part. Or
Ah,
else we come
Monday
on
or Monday or
Monday.
Tuesday.
Just
Monday?
the going
Monday.
home. Day.
Oh,
Yeah, just
Tuesday.
going
Monday
home.
was just
Tuesday.
closing ceremonies. I mean, what else did we do Monday?
We basically hung around,
We
around,
we took
got
Lyoko
down.
home.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
so you
got.
did take him home. Cool.
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
picture of the
Yeah, we
Pacific
did.
Ocean. Honestly,
What?
other than maybe from the air, maybe having seen something, I think that was the first time I really saw the Pacific Ocean.
The
Hmm.
Yeah,
Pacific Ocean,
Well,
right?
the Onion specific. What?
Yeah.
well, I figure
Yeah.
next year we gotta fix that a little bit better and get you into the town.
Yeah,
Yeah, we'll see what we got for time and what I have for vacation time. Because BronyCon is not going to be a thing next year, honestly, depending on where I am, what all schedule, employment, everything setup is.
Yeah,
All that is a really, really big unknown right now. If I
yeah,
have the
yeah.
extra time and the extra cash, would I love to be able to take an extra day to go downtown? Absolutely. If for no other reason than one thing that I wanted to try to do and plans fell through, I still really want to see the trolley car museum, the cable car museum.
Oh yeah.
yeah,
That would
Which
absolutely
fun
make
fact about
my
that
day.
is that's also the station where the cables are actually driven from.
Yep, I've
So
seen
all
a
the
few of the
cable cars that
videos.
operate through there.
Yeah, I've seen a few
Yeah,
of the videos that show all the wires, all the cables, wheels, everything turning and moving. It
yeah.
looks so cool.
yeah,
Because aside from a battery for the lighting, there's no other power source on those cable cars. What
Yep.
it is basically they have a brake mechanism and
And a
they have a
clamp.
lever that clamps down on the cable, which moves at a consistent 9 miles an hour.
Yep.
So yeah, it's kind of an interesting, intricate setup.
Yeah. Now, that also being said, I know the trolleys towards the northern edge of town, especially that run along the coastline, do they have a museum as well?
I don't know actually.
Because I know there's days when it's almost like a
The
showcase
streetcars.
day. Yeah, you can see all
Yeah.
sorts of different streetcars. You can see the convertible topless one going around. I know
Oh
there's
yeah,
a
they have a
there's
Pacific Electric, which is funny because that's from the LA area.
well, when LA decided to kill off their streetcars, they had to go
Yeah.
somewhere.
Yeah,
Yep.
they did.
Yeah. So I know there's
It was a
quite a
really
bit.
stupid, pathetic move on their part, though, if I have to say so myself.
Mhm.
Because
Yeah.
there's so much advancement that could have been done, and it's funny because they're like just realizing it now. The holy crap, we used to have this. We really need it. Now we got to rebuild everything again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing
That's
but
kind
a
of the
big
phase that they're
time
in.
and money waster that they did just getting rid of it. Now they're
And
rebuilding
it's
it.
like, yeah, they could have upgraded the system over years, but it was a pre-existing system, and it would have been just as intricate as any of the other ones around the world. But
Yeah, but
now we're trying to rely on an unreliable bus system because buses are,
Well, I
you
suspect
know,
even if they start
typically.
trolley bus system, that's even a starting point better than
Yeah.
going with just the
Well,
old dirty bus.
let me put it this way, because we've got one that kind of works like this. There's a bus that operates through the San Fernando Valley called the Orange Line. And it's funny because it's almost kind of laid out like a train route. It has a dedicated road specifically for the bus service.
I think I've seen something similar in Australia where it looks like it's just two strips of concrete with the side barriers, and the buses hop on and just go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing, because they still have to stop at intersections and stuff like that, but there's almost no traffic on the route because the only thing that's operating on that road is transit vehicles. So it's like a regular run-of-the-mill road, and it runs down the middle of an actual street. But the only vehicles that operate on that, other than obviously law enforcement, is
The trolley
transit
buses.
vehicles. Yeah.
Let's see. Mr. Blake here says it's not a real PE trolley. So I guess maybe it's like a homage to it. I guess.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. Which is nice because not to go too far off track, but a lot of those old PE cars, they were once stored in stacks on Terminal Island out here.
Yeah.
And
And
they were restored.
no.
No.
This is
A
what
lot
they
of them
did
got
with them.
scrapped.
No, they didn't get scrapped. They got dumped in the ocean.
Yeah.
Oh, like they do. I know what they did with them. They turned
They
them
do that with the
into.
red cars in New York City.
Yep, and they did it with an old aircraft carrier a while back. They're turning them into
Yeah.
new coral
Reefs.
reefs
Yeah.
to help
Yeah.
restore the reefs. Which
Yeah,
honestly,
like
as sad as it is to see things like that just be dumped in, I can understand from the ecological perspective why they do
Yeah.
it. And because they're
Yeah.
stripped down to steel and they're not going to hurt the wildlife, instead they're helping it. I can
Yeah.
respect that. I really can.
Yeah.
I can respect that.
yeah,
Plus, because they are made safe, even if you can't see them from the top, divers can still go down and see these cars, which it's kind of a
Yeah.
situation of if you don't know why they're there, it's why the hell are there streetcars and subway cars and an entire freaking aircraft carrier on the bottom of the ocean
Oh,
when it
there's
obviously
tons of
wasn't
stuff down there.
torpedoed?
But
But
yeah.
instead, it's like, wow, these are really cool to see.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
like aren't the red cars in
New York
the
City.
bay?
Yep.
Oh, in New
The
York
red.
City, the Redbirds, as
Yep.
they call them.
Yep. Those were the
Yeah.
ones that were cleared out, gutted,
The
and dumped in the ocean.
the
Yep.
heck were they called? The
No,
R-24s, the
no,
R-26s.
I think there were that. Yeah.
no. I'm talking
But
about the ones here in LA.
that
The
must have
red
been a different
cars.
series.
Yeah, aren't they in the Long Beach Bay, or aren't they in the Bay or something?
Yeah. I used to be
That
a
might be.
Yeah,
I
they
used to be
probably
a bit
are.
of a subway car nut back in high school. So I used to follow a lot of the New York subway trains.
Yeah, because
I
you
actually
originally
was
lived
lucky when I was a kid living in New York. I actually got to see some of the old Redbirds still operating
Yeah.
in the Flushing area.
Yeah, before they were replaced by these newer, whatever the hell they are units. Kawasaki, I think they are.
I
Maybe.
have no idea.
Yeah, all I know is
But
New York has been moving more and more
What are
towards
they
these
on
new.
now? The R-134 or the R-136 or something?
Something like that. I haven't been keeping track.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, before we get too far off topic,
Yes.
going back to Babs and stuff
Fab
for
spreading.
next
Yes.
year, okay?
Yeah.
So one of which, layout wise, for an idea of it, is building the elevated platform so that the smaller scale isn't dwarfed by the larger scale. So that was that idea, and one of the others is
A rail yard puzzle sort of thing.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm the
I
one
had a
who's
picture of it.
What? Something you were trying to build up?
Well, I had a picture of it. I think I might have one. Of how it looks.
Well,
Let me
with
see.
the track that I have, and I'll be straight and honest. I know I mentioned looking at the Kato track, but I'm going through what I have, and I'm seeing I need to spend a lot less money just getting mechanical switches, the electric switch machines, and some
Yeah.
simple wire up. I know how to do the wiring. Like when I used to do my DCC stuff and wiring the individual track sections, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It really is. It's the same thing with one extra wire for the ground on the switch boxes. And if I can set it up early enough, depending on the
Yeah.
layout of where the switches are, I can get a small piece of plywood and lay out each switch to correspond with the location in the yard, which would almost be better than having a series of switches just bolted right to the side of a Kato box.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. I don't think I have it on here. It's probably on my hard drive.
Yeah.
I'll have to send it to you. But
Yeah, with the switches I've got, I understand what you're thinking. I know from the switches I've got the couple ideas that I'm going to be working through trying. Ideally, I'd like to set it up with the potential for a through track so that, oh, you're setting up all these cars in a sort of puzzle system for on the bottom. Basically, the thought I had was you have a set of words you can choose from. You put little letters on top of the cars, like Golden Gates, let's say. I put all the letters for Golden Gate scattered around on the cars, and from the yard, you gotta move the cars around, select the cars, and move them onto two bottom tracks to
yeah,
spell out the words.
Yeah.
You can only move cars one at a time because of engine limitations and size limitations, but ideally, somewhere connected to that whole system would be a through track, so all these cars could then be shoved onto a through track connected to another train and run on a bigger layout if ever that opportunity was given.
yeah. Well, all right. So just so it's a little more explained on how it is, pretty much the idea of them. I got them from my local railroad club, the Pasadena Model Railroad Club. Um, they had these rectangular sections, and they were just by themselves. So pretty much, you would have, let's say, you'd have four switches. They'd come in two lines. They'd get switched in with the switches. They'd form a diamond in the middle, and literally, you have to use the trackage you got. Depending on how many cars, it could be as big as you want it, whatever. But typically speaking, you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 trackage areas that you have to place the cars on,
Yeah.
and
I know what
you
you're
have to put
thinking
them in a
is to
certain
keep
order.
it. I know what you're thinking is to keep them all within those 6 track sections. I'm going at it a
Yes.
slightly different way and having 3 end on track sections so I'm not having to do an entire extra set of switches. You just pull one car at a time and drop it into the other track. You can move one car onto a different siding track as needed in order to get it a different letter car to push it onto the quote final staging track.
Yeah. Well, I mean, figure if you did it that way, it'd be even bigger. The thing that I'm thinking of is I want it to be small enough to where it could essentially be considered as a carry-on item.
I know, I understand what you're going there. If I can try and stack everything up enough, it probably wouldn't be pre-built. It'd probably be easier to do everything on location, as is the nature with this Aethern track. But
Yeah.
I think that may play out a little better because by having it a little more open, it makes it a little less cluttered.
Well, figure this much. I have several contacts at the club, which I'm not really a paid member of anymore because I haven't paid them in a while. But I can go down there and get the dimensions of that and replicate that easily.
Yeah, and I can
I
try
can build the
some.
box and you
Yeah,
just put everything on top.
Yeah, I'll do some of the attempts like what I was talking about, try some of the builds myself and see what comes of it, and do some experimentation from there to see what works
Yeah.
best. I just
Yeah.
get the feeling where I understand where you're coming from with everything, and trying to do the smaller stage section, having all those switches, trying to get all those switches and then wiring them all up is
Well,
going to be a nightmare.
You don't necessarily have to wire them. They could be manually thrown because you only got 4 switches at the most.
And that would be the fun thing, though, of having to have the electrical switches rather than mechanically reach through and grab each one. At that point, it's almost like cheating. You could bump cars wherever you wanted. Having everything from a control panel, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
the electric switches are right there and the train control is
Yeah.
right there. It puts it in an almost more locomotive like perspective. Heck,
Yes, I agree.
if we want to, we could get a split screen system using that little camera like what's in Gary's little caboose, put a
Mhm.
tiny pinhole camera in the nose of the diesel engine so you can only see things from the eye of the diesel.
Well, kind of, sort of. Or what we could do is do the GoPro route, just hardwire it to a screen so people can see it,
Yeah.
and then have it be like an overhead view, like a helicopter, so it's facing
Yeah.
directly down,
Yeah,
so you
something
can
like
see all
that.
the action going on. But figure what I wanted to do it with this was you could have like 4 of these modulars pieces together. You could have one set here, one set there, another set there and there, and that way you have like four people trying it out. And they're so and by building them reasonably small, they wouldn't take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
Um,
Again, it's going to come down to what I can experiment with and how many
Yeah.
cars I have, because I'll be straight and honest. Yesterday, I was able to buy. I finally found a hobby shop in Delaware that still sells model train stuff. Now, they don't have a heck of a lot. They have something, and
Yeah.
that's probably where I'm going to be getting most of the magnets for the decouplers, as well as the fact that they
Yeah.
have the metal wheels, which I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be able to do the massive swap out on those cars.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
they should have all the supplies I need to be able to get everything mechanically and magnetically set up for the track and for experimentation.
Well, figure what I was gonna go for was for freight car wise, I was gonna go for your standard entry level cars, nothing too fancy. Engine wise, we need something small like a switching engine, like a
Yeah,
diesel or something,
like my RS7, which I'll be
or
completely honest,
an SW100.
I purposely no, it's an SW7 that I've got. Yeah,
Yeah.
small
Yeah.
Penske SW7,
Yeah.
1930s to 40s era. I bought that thing months back, anticipating doing this at this BabsCon.
Yeah.
I had the idea for this puzzle thing, I think back in January, February, and that's why I got that damn diesel
Yeah.
locomotive, and it never came through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was a little.
Yeah, it was an
I was
idea
thinking about it.
it was an idea that hadn't been fleshed out enough and been
Yeah.
able to be set up. If we had had
It
more
was an
table
idea at the
space,
time. Yeah.
yeah, if we had had more table space, do I think we could have done it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, but like we stated earlier in the show here, that
Yeah.
we are working close with BabsCon staff and our representative,
Yeah.
and if we can get it worked out, because we did talk about this with our representative in person,
Yeah.
that and they loved it. They loved the idea, and they would love
Yeah.
us to do it,
Yeah.
because interactivity is what cons like these thrive on. Interactiveness,
Yeah.
And if
not
this is
just
the
sitting
third
and watching.
if this is the third year of the Railroad Bronies at BabsCon, the first year we had a sizable layout.
Yeah.
This year we had
Yeah.
an even bigger layout. If
Yep.
next year we can keep that trend and go for not only a bigger layout but more substations to have fun
Bigger,
at.
better, more interactivity.
Am I gonna say by year 4 or 5 of the Railroad Bronies being there, they're gonna give us a section of an entire panel room or something like the game room to set up a
I have
large
no idea.
partial wraparound layout? That's a
I
pipe dream. I would love to see that happen because that
Yeah.
means that entire 50 fucking pound tote could finally be cracked open and used.
Yeah.
But
Well,
we'll
I
see how that one
talked-
goes.
I talked to our representative about a room, and they thought it would be better to keep us out in the public for the big
Yes,
layout.
which would
But
help
for the
to-
puzzle idea is a different story.
Yes, that because the hope is, and again, I'll be doing some testing size-wise and seeing what goes on.
Yeah.
I anticipate one of those tables, I think we measured it out to, what, 2.5 by 6 foot? I think the most
Yeah, I
I
got
would
the
need
measurements.
would be 2 of those tables to give us, like, a 5 foot by 6 foot space. I'm pretty sure I could set up everything I need in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, the interactiveness of like a switching like
A
modular.
switching puzzle, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. And I do like the idea of maybe having electronic switches and lever instead.
Yeah.
That way, if people are too afraid to put their hands on there and to be too scared, I mean, at least that way they just
Well, that's
throw a lever.
why I said the
That's it.
Kato setup was perfect because all of the Kato switches
Uh-huh.
have an electromagnetic mechanism in them. So you get that
Yeah.
little switch adapter, which would
Mhm.
literally plug into the side on
Yeah.
2 snaps
It
of the Kato
snaps in
controller.
on the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And
you could put those in a series to almost as
Yeah.
far as you want, as far as I'm aware.
yeah.
Oh,
It's
they go on
similar.
both sides.
Yeah, it's similar
Yeah.
with how the Atlas system works. There's a little more
Yeah.
wiring to do, and it's
Yeah.
similar with how they can match up like that. But
Yeah.
for what I have in mind, that's almost less viable because while, yeah, you can have all the switches in a line, you would almost need a numbering system to put them in place. Whereas if I can go with a small piece of plywood with each of the switches kind of reflecting its position on the puzzle layout, then you don't even need numbers. You're
Yeah.
like, okay, that track, that switch, that track, that switch, and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
again, it's all stuff
here
that
it
I
is,
can
right
get a hold
here.
of the materials and experiment with a little bit.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Sent in from Blake, our newest subscriber, right there. It's called a shunting puzzle.
Yep, sounds
Yep.
about right.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
different sort of branch puzzle. That wasn't the kind of thing I had in mind. More
But this
I-
is the one I had in mind,
single
actually.
track. Yeah, what I had was a sort of single track thing, so that if funneled from like 4 tracks down to a common point, and then down onto 2 tracks for the final assembly of the puzzle, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, again,
Oh, so
this
yours is more of like consist building.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That could work
again,
too. That's a little creative.
yeah,
So
again,
instead of
that
just
can
like
do
trying to
that.
get a car from one side to the other, you're actually trying to
exact,
get cars in a certain order.
exactly.
Yes.
That's how you spell out the words.
Yes, we
Yeah.
can do it that way too.
And that's why I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'd have probably like 4 tracks. Like top 3 would have 4 cars apiece, it's space for
Yeah.
1 extra, and then 1 extra completely empty run so you could move cars around as you needed to. And then on the
Yeah.
bottom, you have the 2 tracks that are going to be longer that you spell out
Mhm.
everything on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again,
But
I
yeah.
have the track. All I need to do is one day when I get a chance, I'll do some practice mock-ups without all the wiring because I have only the manual throw switches. And over the course of the next year or so, I can get all the wiring, which I have plenty of, but I get all the electric
Yeah.
switches. I get the actual switch toggles themselves. I get a small piece of plywood and I try starting wiring everything up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
as easy as
now,
go ahead.
what I was gonna say is if you're gonna be doing that and figuring that out, what you need to do is once you figure out how big these are gonna be, you need to send me the measurements for the
Yep.
modular boxes so I could build them.
Out of what? Out of plywood for your end?
Plywood, just pine, lightweight stuff.
I was just gonna bring him in and set him up on location with the pins like I had done last year at Babs. It's
Oh,
crude. It's not the cleanest thing, but if it works,
I
I'm not
I was kind of wanting to put these on a table.
yeah. Well, that's the thing is if I can set them up on a table like we did for everything else with BabsCon the last couple of years, just lay it
Yeah.
out on a table. If it works, it works.
Well, yeah,
If it
true.
fits, it chips.
Yeah, but I was thinking
Yeah.
like maybe like some like rudimentary sawhorses, like a bar
Yeah,
stool type
so it could
chair.
so it could
And
be on its own sort of system, and I know what you're talking about
yes,
for
it
that.
takes up as little space.
the bonus of using, and again, this will all come down to what measurements I get from the final attempt system that I can make at home here that I could practice with. As
Yeah.
long as I could fit it across 2.5 by 6 foot tables, which I know I can
Yeah.
easily, I can fit it in that kind of space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure the hotel can spare 2 tables for that.
Yeah. Well,
Probably
that we
Plus,
gotta. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we'll talk more about it and iron it.
yeah. Yeah, I'll
Iron
start doing
out
my
the-
experimentation and everything and see how that goes.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to keep things portable for us, as
Yeah.
well as have to ship as little stuff as possible, although I'll already be flying out with that
Yeah.
giant box again, no doubt.
Well, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
figured that's why I was thinking about, you know, um,
Doing something
like,
on your end to just bring along in a box.
well, figure, like, have you, since you already have the track,
Mhm.
I was thinking like, okay, why don't we have you make the map, do the measurements and all that, and then I'll look at it on my end, try to re-replicate it, and
But that would mean
go from there.
you having to buy the track, and well, that's just
I
doing extra
would
work. That's
figure
just doing all the work over again.
it kind of yes, kind of no, because what I wanted to do with is I wanted to, instead of having to set these up on demand with these things, I wanted these to be like, okay, I'm going to take this tiny nail this piece down, nail this piece down, and then have it already set there.
Well, like what we already had for this year planned, where we were gonna like number out each piece of track for each location,
Yeah.
because this is gonna be quite a fair, quite a small number of total pieces of track. It's not going to be that hard to sort of individually package. Okay, these 4 or 5 pieces for this branch, these 4 or 5 pieces for this branch, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's not necessarily the packing of it. It's just more or less the fact that is when people are using these, I just don't want because they're going to be relatively space saving and small.
Yeah,
So
you
there's
don't
not
want
a
the
whole lot of
tracks.
surface area. I don't want the tracks to shift and the whole thing falls over. So I want to be able to secure the tracks to these things,
Yeah,
and then maybe have a little bit of scenery like dirt, ballast,
yeah, and
grass type
again,
deal.
so I think that's going a little overboard, especially if you want to try and keep things open for extra visibility. I mean, trees, grass, that's not what you saw in a typical freight yard.
No, but I mean, I'm talking about a little bit of scenery pieces here.
Yeah.
I'm like talking like getting like
Yeah.
a chunk of an actual layout in a small form, and that's it right there.
Yeah, if we're gonna start with this, I'd say let's not go overboard on everything. Let's try and bring in at least a crude
Yeah,
semi-finished product that we know functionally on our end works
yeah.
before we go and build something with tons of scenery, tons of
Well,
everything, only to discover it's either one,
yeah,
partially non-functional, or two,
yeah.
nobody wants to do it.
Well, I've been wanting to build one of these for myself for a long time because I don't have any place to run any trains, and I
Mhm,
do have a yard-like engine, that Jeep of mine.
mhm.
So I was thinking, like, why don't I build one as a demo model? Then I'll take the pictures of the process and I'll send them your way.
And you're thinking doing that one that was sent in with like the 4 or 5 individual ends of the total thing with the diamond?
Yes,
I think I
and
got a better idea.
that way you get like a general.
I think I think we need to do a small competition.
you
Ooh.
you want to make this like a la Mythbuster style?
You can try
Yes.
your method, I'll try mine, and we better in the end.
Yes. 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 Let's do that.
Oh, a
I have my money
Mythbusters
on Ace.
competition.
I have my money on Ace. I have my money on Ace. I'm just saying
Oh,
that right now.
you know what we could do? Okay, we can actually make this competition a bit more exciting.
Oh
So
no.
how about we do it this way? Okay, let's do. Okay, for next year's
Nan's gonna have
batch.
a heyday with this. It's like, you're not building one, but 2 of them?
Okay, yeah, okay, let's do it this way. You build two your way, I'll build two my way. Okay, And then at Babs, we'll have them set up. Okay? And then what we do is we have a poll system. Okay? We'll have a box, we'll have some paper, and say, which version did you like best? 1 or 2?
Because it's 2 different types of puzzles, 2 different ways of going about it.
Yeah.
This is going to get interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
The
a way
key
for
is
us to
to
have
remember-
fun.
The key is to remember this is not an ugly competition. This is just, let's see what the public likes more.
Exactly.
That's a damn lie, and you know it.
For bragging rights, that's all.
Yeah. But let's see which one of our ideas that would be more, let's say, on the terms of like challenging yet simple enough that anybody walking around could sit down and say, I want to try it and actually get it done.
I am curious as to how this one's going to work out. What you've got is a mess of switches to try out. I'm going for a simpler branch line consisting tree design. I don't know, for those who want to go for the more complex method, I can see yours being an interesting challenge. For those who want to sit down for a quick, like a letter solving puzzle, I could see
Yeah.
mine being more viable. I am really curious how this is going to work out. You have
Oh,
something
yeah.
of an advantage in that you can package it from your end to be very easy to transport. Mine is going to be needing to fit into a box, or I'm going to need to set up a custom crate system to move them, which I will do if I need
Yeah.
to. But
And yeah. I
this is
mean,
going to get interesting.
yeah. Let's do that.
Oh,
Let's do that. And and the best part is it's recorded on this podcast.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. No, no, you guys need a tweet. You guys, since you both of you guys have your own personal Twitter
Twitters, yeah.
accounts, yeah, you guys gotta tweet at each other. Or what we can do, since Steam Tank has his own personal Twitter account, Ace has his own personal Twitter account. Whenever you
Yeah.
guys do a update of when you're working on it, tag the Railroad Bronies in it, tag Railroad Bronies, and then I can retweet it on the.
We need a hashtag for this.
We have
Well,
a
it's
Not a
Yeah.
No, it
not
needs
an
a
actual
dedicated
account.
hashtag.
Yeah, we need a
dedicated
hashtag. Hmm.
okay.
I'm not good with hashtags, so I'll let you guys figure that out.
Honestly, I think this is something we could almost leave to the listeners. Since I don't think we're going to be getting started on this immediately because I do have my
No.
full-time job. We all have stuff we need to get going on.
Yes,
We have our
some
next
stuff to do.
podcast coming up in a couple weeks. So we'll give it until then. If we can start a little work on that before the next podcast, great. But for any of the listeners, anybody on Twitter, Facebook, wherever, start putting in your ideas. Tweet them, send them in, whatever, for what the hashtag should be for this yard versus yard competition.
Okay. And not only that, but let's say this. Let's pick let's see, let's pick 6 for the main 6. 6 of the best names. And we'll make a straw poll. And whatever gets the best votes, that will be the hashtag for this competition.
And of course, we already know the railroads. You've got your UP unit. I've got my Pennsy unit. So we already know which railroads are competing, the 2 biggest railroads at their time. Literally, Pennsylvania dominated the East Coast. UP and SP owned the West.
Yes.
This is going to get interesting. This is fun.
Yeah. So Gary, if you want, type a quick message out there, put it out there, and then figure what I can do is I could do a small dedicated video, put it up on the RRB YouTube channel, and give a quicker, more insightful about this little competition of ours.
You're not the only one with a handicam, bub.
Oh yeah, you could do it too. You could do yours, and I could do mine, and we'll put them in one video.
This really is going to be a Mythbusters style competition.
Yes, it is.
I'm Adam. I'm Adam.
I guess that makes me Jamie, and that's fine by me.
I've got the gusto of Adam, and I've got the ingenuity of Adam. I'm telling you, I got the better system here. And so it begins. Here it goes.
You know what? That's completely fine by me. However, I do have an Indiana. I mean,
Yeah.
generally, I would say I'd be Adam.
Why?
But
Because I can grow the Jamie mustache?
Yes, you
Yeah.
can. I can't grow the Jamie mustache.
This is true.
I
I am
So-
not
You can grow-
showing up. I am not showing up with a shaved head and a beret next year. I refuse to shave my hair.
No. You don't have to shave your head. Just beret.
No. You know
Just
what you
wear
should
a
do?
beret and a white shirt, and I'll show up dressed as Adam in a costume.
No.
Well, here's
No.
the thing too, because Will's idea is a lot more intricate, wacky, whereas Ace, your idea is a lot more down to earth, which does more coincide with Jamie. Jamie tends to use a more practical,
So I guess I
systematic
get to be the Heineman then and do something that's a little more sensible.
And yes, I'm doing the hand whisker thing.
If
Oh,
you're gonna talk
yes,
with Jamie,
yes.
you gotta do the whisk.
Yeah,
I'm gonna do something that makes a little more sense, is a little more clean laid out, and
yeah.
can be more easily used by your common people. Whereas my
Yes.
co-host here is just doing his crazy thing like he always does.
Yes. A lot more flamboyant, a lot more ridiculous.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun. I love
It's true.
this.
That's how they always work. Jamie is always the practical man, and Adam is always the crazy, wacky scientist person.
Oh man, I did not expect this night to end.
Wake up, everyone! It's time for.
Oh,
Let's get these. What's the word I'm looking for? This railroad of a competition on. Let's build our east to west line.
Adam, do you even know what you're doing with this? All you do is
Nope.
usually custom making and simple stuff that blows up. Are you really sure you want to try and do something that's functional that won't just explode the first time you touch it?
I have absolutely no idea, but I will figure that out as I go.
Adam Savage, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, this is gonna be great. Oh, this
Oh,
is
well.
wonderful. Well-
I can already hear the Mythbusters theme in the background. Oh, they're both on Twitter. I know Jamie hardly ever does anything. We're gonna need to tweet this out to them. I know Adam is very active on Twitter.
You know, if anything, I bet you if anything, because Adam has his tested channel that he does with I think his co-host Will and Norm. I think Norm still does it. I'm not sure, but they have been to a couple of model railroad events in the Bay Area, and I bet you, if anything, if they catch wind of this, they might want to check these out in person.
Where is Adam's shop? Because Jamie owns M5 style.
Adam's shop is more towards the main city. Jamie's
But-
shop is more away.
All right, but Adam's
Yeah.
shop still is in the Bay Area.
Yes.
Yeah.
As
Then
with the
it's
tested building.
It's literally right down the road for them.
Yeah, it is. It's completely
Oh my
right down
God.
the road.
And it has been seen that the Mythbusters have had ponies on their show before, on some of their live stage events. Remember that
Yeah.
famous?
Oh yeah, that was funny.
If we
I'm
can
scared.
convince even Adam to show up, oh my God, that would make the whole convention happy. Oh,
You know what we need to do is
Mhm.
we need to film ourselves making these like they
Yes.
did in the show. Film these and put it out as like an RB Mythbusters
Now,
episode.
did you just see what I posted? I am
Yes, I
scared
did.
of this. I am
oh,
scared.
nonsense.
Yes, in fact, I am
Nonsense.
going to really quick go to view screen, open original,
Oh no.
go to OBS, and I'm going to click the screen share. Or be Mythbusters. Or, no, better yet, we could call it Railbusters.
And this, ladies and gents, is how you flow right into the twisted, crazy, tipsy hour without even thinking about it.
Yeah. Well, figure this, though. We are running out of time, but this is a good high note to end off of, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
means we are going to get back into this on the next one and talk about this further, because there are things we didn't get to. I will admit, there are things.
Yeah.
This kind of took over a precedence of that. But we will talk more about this in 2 weeks. Or, no. Yeah,
Yeah.
in 2 weeks from now.
So we have to base a myth or a question around it, so it's really simple. Which method is the cleaner, easier, or more favorable method for sorting cars?
Well, kind of, sort of. It'd be more of the because we're doing it as a puzzle. I wouldn't say it's more or less like a real life method. It'd be more or less like, what is the most practical puzzle method?
Practical
Like,
and
what is-
difficulty-wise.
It has to have difficulty. It has to has some practicality.
Mm.
It has to have a good mobility to it.
That's the
It's-
other advantage to a conscious building puzzle is because
Oh,
they
but-
can be done in various lengths. You can either choose 2 cars, or you can do a much larger number of cars for the folks to try and sort out onto the main staging tracks.
Yes.
Yes, I use the whiskers again.
Oh god.
So it has to have the practicality, the mobility, fun level, difficulty level.
The mobility part
And-
is still going to
and-
be a bitch for me because I got to fly with it. You
Yeah,
just got to
yeah.
drive with
But
it.
but the fifth one is the fun level. What is the fun level of it?
We're going to need to set up a poll system on this, and we're going to need to hope that enough people swing by to try these out. And of course, they're going to need to be set up side by side.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So here's what I'm thinking. What we could do is film ourselves, like if it was like an episode of Mythbusters, film ourselves, your perspective, my perspective, building this thing, doing the research on it, development, and then do the final filming.
Developers.
Do the final filming at the con for the final verdict. Wrap it up in person, and then post the episode.
I will not
God
shave
damn
my
it, I
head.
just got that song stuck in my head.
I will not shave my head. I will grow out the stupid long mustache. I will find the glasses. I will find a beret. I will get the white shirt and the pants. That part is easy.
No, just give the beret to Dusty Cat. Just give the outfit to Dusty Cat and the glasses to Dusty.
my
Yeah, just go
Oh my
on Dusty
God.
Cat.
That would
Perfect.
be perfect.
We need
Just
to have-
tell
have
Dusty
you do a
Cat
voice-
to have him cosplay as
As
Jamie.
Heineman. But
Yeah,
Jamie Heineman.
who's gonna pull off Adam?
I have
Oh,
no
that's-
idea, but just
that's
have him
true.
cosplay as Jamie for next convention. Oh my god,
Either
that would
that,
be
or
beautiful.
I need to find one of those bald wigs.
that works too, I guess. And you have to do
Yeah.
the handlebar mustache, just like Dusty.
Yeah, the long mustache. That's easy. Oh,
Yeah.
that's really easy.
See, I can't do that. I love my face being almost clean shaven, but 5 o'clock shadow, exactly like Adam. So yeah, plus the hat and jacket. And
Where he
stuff.
does the full thing with his face. I used to do my face like that, so it's just a matter of letting that all regrow stupid thick again. I can do that. I absolutely can do that.
My
So,
job doesn't allow me to grow facial hair, so
all
I'm
right,
kind of...
question for you: how long would it take you to grow that out?
About 6 months.
6 months. Okay.
So basically, it's real easy. Like what I did last year, I stopped shaving in October.
Uh-huh.
The same thing. I don't shave in October, and come April, I shave it into just the right shape. Trim is necessary, and I'm Jamie.
I'm just sort of thinking like okay. Yeah, that works.
And actually, my mustache color is similar to his now.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. Anyway,
I still
will-
want to see Dusty
You
Cat
know what?
as Jamie.
I will do this.
Huh.
It won't be for me, but if we can raise, and this is a really big number, if we can raise
Huh.
$10,000 for BabsCon charities next year, before the con, $10,000 ahead of time, I will shave my head.
No.
Oh
Oh,
boy,
oh boy.
10,000
that's a
minimum,
challenge.
and
How?
we set it up on an account. We'll get a hold of BabsCon. We'll set it up.
Mhm.
If we can raise $10,000 before the convention, I will shave my head to go as Jamie Heineman in purest form.
That's ballsy because that's usually the joint amount that they get, somewhere around that for both of
I
the.
know.
So we're gonna try and raise just as much money as they do for the charity auction.
It is not for me. It's going to be strictly for BabsCon's charity auction. If everybody can come together and raise $10,000, I will shave my head for BabsCon.
Okay, now question is, are you gonna shave it on stage?
No, I am going to shave it beforehand. That way I come in to BabsCon as Jamie Heineman.
Okay, that would be a problem.
I will film it. I will bring it into BabsCon. I will have my hair in a bag.
Ew.
The best way I could say about doing it is live stream you getting the haircut.
Yeah.
That would probably be the best method, yes. The
Live stream it.
only thing is, if I shave, I
Yeah.
would want to do it probably closer to the convention, so I don't need to re-shave my head, because it's going to mean a razor and shaving cream.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
You're
gonna
going
look
all out.
freaky.
Yes. If again,
Oh,
it's a
man.
really tall order. $10,000. 10 grand for BabsCon's charity before the convention. And that can be given to the convention. They have an account for it. $10,000. I will shave my head for BabsCon and to go as Jamie Heineman.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm just
Damn.
finding a bald.
Damn, man. I guess this means this is officially on, and
Mhm.
somebody better
I swear to
message-
God.
message
again-
staff about this.
Well, what I'll probably end up doing is, once this podcast ends up on the YouTube page, I'll
Yeah.
link this part of the podcast to them,
Yeah.
and we can get a hold of whoever we need to. I
Uh-huh.
swear on my love of going to BabsCon and my truth of having been there for the past 6 years, I will shave my head if $10,000 can be raised before the convention.
Tall order, but why
I
not?
truly, honestly will. I told my family I would never cut my hair for the longest time because I love
Oh.
having my long hair. I really do. If we can raise $10,000 for the BabsCon charities before the convention even starts, I will shave my head just for BabsCon.
This is almost as big as the time that when we first met Gary, he had long hair just like you.
Oh,
And he shaved it off. And we were like, oh my God, he's naked.
Well, it's like when you saw me with the full beard just last week, and then I shaved 99% of it all.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's not as. It's kind of drastic, but it wasn't exactly clean shaven. But I
No,
mean,
that was like seeing our friend Griff shave his hair off. Well, he didn't shave it off, but he got it cut really short.
yeah.
Only
I
I'm talking shave, shaving cream, everything. It's
figure
gonna look
this is
really weird.
Yeah.
But
this is
I
a
will
drastic change.
absolutely shave my head, dusty cat, shiny bald.
This is a drastic change. I mean, the fact that you're willing to do that. I mean,
Mhm.
I mean,
It's a
jeez.
super tall order. I know. It is a super, super tall order. But I will
Yeah.
do it if we can raise $10,000 for BabsCon. Again,
Okay,
this is the
yeah.
key thing: before the convention, not during the convention. Because if we're going to
Before.
be doing the MythBusters competition at the
Mhm.
convention, we need that 10 grand before
Yeah.
it starts.
Yeah.
10,000 before the April 10th when the convention starts.
Okay.
the counter is on. We'll
Yep.
get a hold of Babs and we'll see about setting up the account to get everything done up.
Okay.
I swear to God, I will shave my head if this. I really honestly will. My family will hate me even more than having just stupid long hair. Why would you shave your head? Why not? It's for a very, very good cause because BabsCon always chooses these really honorable, really, really good charities to help out.
Yeah.
And then what you could do is you can show them the finished video when we're done. You can tell them that's why. And they'll be like, "Oh, you're doing a MythBusters parody."
They all know that I really loved Buster when I was young, and I still do. I think it was some of the greatest, most educational, entertaining stuff to watch. And I actually have the couple seasons on DVD. I need to go back and watch them again.
Yeah.
But
anyway, before we carry on anymore,
yes,
we got about maybe less than 5 minutes left of this podcast, so we got to wrap things up.
Podcast.
Yes, the podcast.
So
even though you changed it, it's still the podcast.
I think skipping the Drunken Stupors portion of this would probably be a good idea.
I thought this was Drunken Stupors.
No, you went from Drunken Stupors to like enlightened level. That you went to like from drunken to sober.
Okay.
Drunken to sober.
You were like sober drunken level. There you go.
Oh God.
It went from Drunken Stupors to ultra surreal.
Yes.
Acid trip.
Yeah, a shroom trip. You went from drunken to shrooms right there in like 10 seconds flat. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, definitely let's get a hold of Babs on that, and let's get this rolling. I'm actually really excited for this. And that means I can actually don my Adam Savage getup that I've been having for the past 10
would
years.
not be hard for me at all to get a hold of the rest of everything else. I grow my beard. The glasses, I could go to Walmart and get similar looking glasses.
See,
well, they're just what? They're Coke bottle glasses, right?
The cool thing about my
they're
glasses
kind of octagonal.
Is I got black frames. Adam has black frame glasses. Mind you, not the same shape, but they are black frames. So this works out in my favor.
I guess they are kind of oval shaped, but they're frameless glasses.
Kind of, yes.
Clear frameless glasses.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. So thank you for listening in, tuning in. Definitely share this podcast around so the word gets out about this. So if you liked what you heard, saw, like, subscribe, tell your friends, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, everyone.
That's
Bye.
good.
Good night.